Story 1. A for telling my sister that she needs to stop trying to be a martyr. Everyone is mad at me right now, but my sister just can't stop trying to make every single thing about her. My 14th birthday is next week, and I have been imploring my parents to let me go to the movies without them and with a few friends. They are super overprotective and won't budge or try to find a middle ground. So, me and my older brother, 17M, were trying to convince them to let us go during dinner last night. And then my sister, 25F, she had childhood cancer and spent a lot of years in and out of the hospital until her teen years, 17. Just interrupts and says that I don't have a reason to be this upset because at my age she couldn't even eat without feeling sick some days, and my parents always use this as argument too, to say that I and my brother don't have enough reason to be upset. And she has always been like this, YK? Every time I speak in front of her about something that is making me sad or mad, she will just say that I'm really ungrateful for complaining when she couldn't even do most things at my age. I already told her that hearing this doesn't help me, because I'm really sorry that she had to go through that, really. But it's not because she couldn't live her life, that I can't live mine too, so we even the score. My parents always say that she is dealing with everything in the best way she can when we complain and that we need to have more compassion. But well, I'm so tired of this being the final argument for everything in our house, so I told everyone this last night. I can't even get sad about bad grades or a fight with my friends without being called ungrateful and reminded that my sister had bigger worries at my age. When I said this, she told me I needed to grow up and stop resenting her for having suffered for real in life and not having time to deal with my BS. So I told her it's also time for her to stop trying to be a martyr and she isn't sick anymore. She can't keep trying to be always the center of everything with things that are in the past. My parents sent me to my room, no movies for my B-day, that's for sure, and told me that I was out of line and mean and disrespected my sister's trauma. My friends also think I was an asshole for saying this when she has actually suffered a lot, but my brother agrees with me, but he just thinks I should lay low until I'm 18. Story 2. A. I was yelled at today by a male co-worker and clapped back. I was yelled at today by a male co-worker and clapped back. Still unsure if I did the right thing. I'm part of a team of 6 developers and I'm the only woman in the team. We have several teams and I get along well with everyone. I'm usually thought of us as nice to everyone and joking around, etc. I've heard several co-workers tell me that they enjoy working with me. Today I got into an altercation with one of my male co-workers. He is stubborn and is known to have outbursts at people, especially if we don't do exactly as he wants us to. He seems to struggle with nuances and gets mad at you if you don't solve something code-related in the way that pleases him. He has been working at this company for over 10 years, whereas I've been here for a year, so there's that. I've never been micromanaged by someone as much as him, and he is not even my manager or boss. In short, the altercation was this. I was handed a document with descriptions of how certain software components in our codebase is intended to work. Some of the descriptions are newly revised, so I have to rewrite code to fit the new description. The descriptions were unclear, so I decided to email the engineer who had written the document. He is very well versed into the system design of these components. We can call him M. As I was typing my email, my male co-worker exploded and was yelling, "I know these things, you should ask ME. Stop bothering M." I'm usually cold in these situations and don't really care about his outbursts, but this one really caught me due to his usage of the words bothering. I was typing a 2-sentence email, and he made it sound like I was sending M 100 of emails. I looked back and responded, "I'm sorry, are you my boss or something? I'm emailing him because I want his explanation since he has written this document." And he responded by saying, "You're so rude, that's so rude of you," and I was like, "Yeah, then go and cry about it." When I said the last words, the entire landscape went quiet. Usually no one stands up to this co-worker and he is having angry outbursts without anyone stepping in, and this is the first time I stood up for myself. Did I do something wrong in this situation? Like, is it normal to have these outbursts at co-workers? I'm second-guessing myself all the time, but I really feel like he is the unreasonable one. Story 3. For tell a mom another pool her child was in the way. We are on vacation. Our condo complex has a pool. My kids call it the fidget spinner pool, because that is what it looks like. 3 wide areas that connect with the big part of the pool. 2 of the wide areas are 3 feet and 1 is 6 feet. The center of the pool is 4 feet. Me, my daughter and 2 nieces 10, 11, 13, I will just say my kids for story, are at the pool. There is another family with 3 kids and 4 adults. We are in one 3-foot section and they are in the other. I'm tossing dive toys for my 3 kids. A girl 8 years old from the other family comes over and asks what the kids are playing with. They show her and ask if she wants to play. She says no, I can't go underwater. She then goes back to her family and gets in an inner tube. She slowly floats her way over to the section we are in and is now floating right in the middle, blocking my kids from being able to throw the dive toys and go get them. I say, can you move that way just a bit? They want to throw their toys, and I don't want you to get hit with a toy. She just turns herself away from me, but doesn't move. My niece says, let's go to the deep section. It will make it harder anyway. They go over to the 6-foot section where no one is, and lo and behold, the little girl floats herself over there. I hear my niece ask again if she wants to play. Don't know if the girl responded. She doesn't move. So the kids throw the toys around her. They all then dive for them and of course are splashing as they dive down. Little girl gets splashed and loses her mind. I see mom start moving towards her asking what happened. So I start walking over there too. As my kids are popping back out of the water, she gets splashed again and screams they are splashing me on purpose. The mom looks at my kids and in a gruff tone asks, don't you 3 know it's not nice to splash people? Learn some manners, I then say. My kids were playing over there when your little girl came over. They asked her to play and she said no but didn't move. So my kids came over here. She then flated herself over here where she was asked again to play. She again refused and just floated there. It's not their fault she was in the way of their game. She purposely came over here. Maybe she should learn some manners. Mom replies she's only 8, then tells her daughter, come on, some people are just rude. So are my kids and I the aka rude ones? Story 4. WIBTA. If I told my neighbor no. My wife, 30F, and I, 35M, just moved to a new state 2 months ago and got a duplex near the city center in a decent neighborhood. We were excited to finally have a decent size backyard with room for our dog, 10M, to run around, a fire pit, garden, and a chicken coop. Me and my wife consider ourselves to be very cordial and friendly neighbors, but we are not loud. We never yell if we happen to have a disagreement, and we keep to ourselves. We quickly met our neighbors, who I'll call Barry and Emma, 40-MF, who have 2 young kids. We've since had friendly chats over the backyard fence, mostly with Barry. However, on a regular basis, both me and my wife have heard Emma yelling at both Barry and the kids. We wouldn't get involved because it's not our business, but it's uncomfortable and we feel for Barry and the kids. And the kids. They are loud. The younger one screams as part of their regular vocabulary, and the older one teases her regularly, enabling the constant screaming. They often play outdoors while me and or my wife happen to be in our backyard, and it is grating whether we are working on something or trying to relax. That being said, at the end of the day they are kids, and I'm not their parent. Since putting our backyard together and nice weather has finally come around, me and my wife have made it a weekly ritual to hang out in the backyard, burn some wood in the fire pit, have a few beers and hang out, and maybe have some music going quietly. We usually do this on a Friday Sat, and the latest we stay up is midnight. So far, Barry has come out to ask if we turn off music because the kids are trying to sleep around 10 p.m. I said fair enough, and turned off the music. Another time, my wife was on our porch smoking a cigarette, and Emma came outside and asked her to put it out because the smoke was going into her kids' room. 2nd floor, window was left open. My wife apologized, put it out and went inside. This past Saturday, me, my wife and her friend were in our backyard, burning wood in the fire pit and drinking beers. By no means were we loud. At 9:45 p.m., Emma comes out and tells us to put the fire out. Smoke is coming into the house. She can't close the windows because it's too hot and the fire was too close. It's 20 feet away from any structure. I said no worries, put it out, and our night ended. Since then, both me and my wife have been frustrated with the situation. We go out of our way to not be a disturbance just so we can enjoy spending time together. We love our backyard. It feels like our backyard is held